The poor farmer's son who built Samsung, the story you've never heard. Have you ever looked at your Samsung phone, TV, or even a washing machine, and wondered, how did this all start? Well, today I'm going to tell you the story of a boy born in 1910 in a poor farming family in Korea. A boy who had nothing but a dream, and who grew up to build one of the biggest companies in the world. Samsung. This is not just the story of a brand, it's the story of courage, failure, and starting small. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll see how a single rice shop in Korea became a global giant worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Our story begins on February 12, 1910, in a small village in Uryong, South Korea. A boy named Lee Byung-chul was born. Lee wasn't born into a rich family. His father was a farmer, struggling to make ends meet. But even as a child, Lee was different. He had a big vision. He didn't want to be stuck in the endless cycle of farming. He wanted to build something bigger, something that would make his name known. In the 1930s, Lee Byung-chul went to college in Japan to study economics. But life wasn't smooth. He didn't even finish his degree, he dropped out. Imagine that. The man behind Samsung was once a dropout, but Lee believed education was not just in books, it was in experience. So he came back to Korea determined to start a business. In 1936, at just 26 years old, Lee tried his first real business, a rice mill. It failed. Yes, his first attempt at business collapsed. But instead of giving up, he thought, what else can I try? And in 1938, with just a small loan and 40 employees, he opened a tiny trading company in Sudong, Korea. He called it Samsung Sangho. Samsung in Korean means 3 stars, symbolizing greatness, prosperity, and everlasting strength. At the start, Samsung wasn't making phones, TVs, or electronics. No, it was just selling dried fish, vegetables, and noodles. A humble trading company. Slowly, Samsung began to grow. Lee was smart. He saw opportunities in every difficulty. After the Korean War in the 1950s, Korea was destroyed, but Lee saw that people needed food and clothes. So Samsung moved into textiles and sugar. In the 1960s, Korea was industrializing. Guess who jumped into construction, insurance, and chemicals? Samsung. But the biggest leap was yet to come. In 1969, Samsung entered electronics. The first product? A simple black and white television. Nobody knew it back then, but this move changed Samsung forever. Through the 1970s and 80s, Samsung made microwaves, refrigerators, washing machines, and more TVs. By the 1990s, Samsung was becoming known globally. But the real transformation came with one product, the mobile phone. In 1988, Samsung produced its first mobile phone. It wasn't great and people didn't really care about it. But Samsung didn't stop. They kept improving, failing, and trying again. In the 2000s, Samsung released the Galaxy series. And boom, the world started noticing. By 2012, Samsung overtook Nokia to become the largest smartphone maker in the world. Today, Samsung makes not only phones but also laptops, chips, smart TVs, home appliances, and even builds skyscrapers like the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Today, Samsung is one of the biggest companies in the world. It makes around $200 billion in revenue every year. It employs over 250,000 people worldwide. And it's still family-controlled, run by the Lee family. From dried fish and noodles to the phone in your hand, Samsung has come a long way. But here's the most important part. Lee Byung-chul started small. He failed. He dropped out of school. He was just a farmer's son with a dream. Yet he built something that touched billions of lives. The lesson? Never underestimate small beginnings. Don't be afraid to fail. And always look for opportunities, even in difficult times. If Samsung could grow from noodles to smartphones, what's stopping you from building your dream? And that's the story of Samsung, the farmer's son who built an empire. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more business journeys like Honda, Coca-Cola, or even Netflix, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because every week, I share the untold stories behind the world's biggest brands, in a way that inspires you to dream big and never give up. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, which company story should I cover next? Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building.